All right. We're back with Methough episode 10. We're talking about Return of the Jedi, which I was talking about, I think earlier I ended up saying that when I was referring to The Last Jedi. I can't remember. But anywho, man, this movie right here. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm not going to say I wasn't happy with this movie, but I wasn't satisfied with this movie as well. You probably just heard me. I got my notebook here with my notes on it, so you probably heard all that. But anyway, this movie, man, it was very disappointing and underwhelming, especially after Empire Strikes Back. This was a very disappointing finale. It really was to the original trilogy, and I understand why a lot of people feel that way, because once again, every time I hear people talk about the original trilogy, they always talk about how, like I was saying essentially in the past couple of Methoghs, how episode 4 is a solid start, Empire Strikes Back, one of the best sequels of all time, and then they always get to the Return of the Jedi, and they're just like, yeah, Return of the Jedi's, it's there. And I see why. Because the problem with this movie is for its runtime, or with this runtime, nothing happens throughout it. Like literally nothing happens throughout most of this movie. And the whole time I was watching it, I was waiting for something to happen. And it just kept on going. And it just kept on going. And it just kept on going. And I'm like, okay, when is something going to happen? And the problem is that you really don't get anything until the third act. You don't get anything until the third act. But the first two acts is nothing. The only thing of any significance in the first two acts is Yoda dying. And that's it. That's literally it. There's nothing of any significance that happened. And I'm not saying that everything has to have a big overclimactic battle or overly, like a battle that's just so big it blows your fucking mind. Like I said, overly climactic battle or whatever. However you want to phrase it. But you get my point. I'm not saying that every movie has to have that. But I'm just like, dude, the only thing that happened was Yoda dying. I guess if you want to include the whole speeder thing when they was going through the forest, that's cool. But it's just like, what else was there? There wasn't. I mean, yes, they saved Han at the beginning. But even then, it was just like, it wasn't like you knew they was going to save Han. And it's just like, it didn't really, I don't know, it's just like this movie, it didn't bring anything for me. It really didn't. And it doesn't mean that it's bad. I want to make that explicitly clear. It's not bad. It's just that there's nothing going on. So it just kind of leaves you sitting here like, okay, But I will give it credit. The one thing that I really did like was the final battle between Luke and Vader. I have to give them credit for that. I see why people love that. I hate to compare it to this, but it's almost like the fight between, Darth Maul and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. That's what it kind of reminds you of. In the sense of like, there's nothing else going on throughout that whole entire movie, but then you get to the final battle and you're like, well, that kind of made it worth it. But I would say this is way more enjoyable and way more watchable than episode 1. I don't think I will ever go back to episode 1. I fucking hate episode 1 so goddamn bad. But yeah, this movie, man, it's not bad. I really don't have much to say about it because, like I said, nothing really happens. The only thing you really get is Vader versus Luke. I didn't really care about them saving Han at the beginning. I really didn't care. I did care about Yoda dying. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna say that. I did care about Yoda dying because Yoda's my favorite character. Always have been. Always will be. I was kind of sad when he died. I was like, fuck, not my nigga Yoda. Actually, that's gonna be a negative. That's actually a negative. But anyway, so Yoda dying was pretty sad to me. But the rest of it, man, it was just like whatever, man. It was just like whatever. Lando doing his thing to go blow up the new Death Star. That was okay. I don't know what to say. This is gonna be a very short Methough because there's not much to say about this fucking movie. It genuinely isn't, because there's just not a lot going on in this movie except for the end. To be real with you, that's all you need to watch. You can literally skip to the very fucking end, the final act of this movie, when Lando and them are going into the Death Star, and you got Han and them are trying to take down the shields to go in the Death Star, and then Luke is fighting Vader. That's literally all you need to see for this movie, and you're good. The rest of it, you can completely skip. And that's kind of one of my dislikes about this movie, is that it's just okay. You thought it would have been a lot more like just a lot more, like, how can I put it? I just think that they should have went even further and should have made it even more grand. That's the word I was looking for. They should have made even like more grandiose, whatever you want to say, of a movie, especially with it being the final one. But to go out on such a like not a somber note, but such a like flat note, it was just like, all right, whatever, okay, you know. But my real dislike for this movie, though, my extreme dislike for this movie, is once again George Lucas putting his fucking hands on it with all this CGI. Oh my God. And when he includes Hayden Christensen at the end of this fucking movie as a Force ghost, I wanted to punch my fucking TV. And here's the reason why. Number one, it doesn't fucking fit. It doesn't. You can tell that they filmed that so far later that it's not even funny. He looks so uncomfortable and looks so unweird. And he's supposed to be a fucking Force ghost, but he looks uncomfortable as hell. It looks so fucking forced. It's not even funny. You can tell because the way that Obi-Wan looks, the way that Yoda looks, it looks like it's and I'm not talking about the quality of it. Well, technically I'm talking about the quality of it, but the quality of their little Force ghost looks way worse than Hayden Christensen, who is in fucking high definition. Like, you can clearly tell that this came way after the fucking movie originally came out. But not only that, it just doesn't match. It doesn't. It feels out of place. It really does. Like, they didn't even try to do a good job of making it feel like he's always been there. You can clearly just tell that he doesn't belong there. They're not even looking at him half of the time. Yoda, I don't even think fucking acknowledges Anakin. Like, he doesn't even look up to Anakin. Like, he just fucking sits there and continues to look straight. And then Obi-Wan looks down at fucking Yoda and then looks back at Luke, and that's it. Don't you think if he was really there, he would adapt his apprentice up or something? Like, hey, yo, what up, my nigga? I'm glad to see you finally. No, because it doesn't fucking fit. And this is nothing to get against Hayden Christensen. I have no problem with that man. It's nothing has to do with him. He's just doing his fucking job. It's George Lucas I have a problem with. Why would you put that bullshit in there? It looks so fucking bad. And it's so cringeworthy too. It's so fucking cringeworthy. Like, literally, when I watched it, I started to curl up in a ball because I'm like, that looks so bad. You know he's not really there. You know they fucking forced him in there. And I know Hayden Christensen was like, bro, do I really have to do this? Can't you just leave it the way it is? And they made that man do that shit. And it just, it looks so painful. It does. It's just, I'm cringing just thinking about it. It looks so fucking painful. But that's not the only reason why. Another thing is that, okay, so just because you do one good thing, that automatically makes you a Force ghost? Like, in the sense of, like, when you go back to the light side? Because my thing is that Vader literally just killed like 4 fucking people in this last one. He's helped construct a fucking, what's it called? The Death Star, to where he blew up a whole planet. He blew up Alderaan, you know, where Leia came from, and killed millions of people. But because he killed the Emperor, supposedly, because, you know, in episode 9, this nigga supposedly comes back. I still don't know how the fuck they gonna do that. I can't wait to see that movie, just to see how much they gonna fuck up. If they do, I want to make that explicitly clear, because I don't know if they gonna fuck up. I'm hoping they don't. I hope they redeem themselves after episode 8. But anywho, he supposedly comes back. But so just because he did that one thing and he saved Luke, that now gives him the ability to be a Force ghost and be with Yoda and Obi-Wan? Like, that's what really hurts me the most, is that it throws away the logic that comes with it. You think with all the shit that he's done, he would stay wherever the fuck Palpatine went? Because my thing is, how come I guess what? Because Palpatine remained evil to, till the very end. He doesn't get a Force ghost. He doesn't come back and be like, hey, I'm a good guy or whatever. It just didn't make any sense to me. It truly didn't. It didn't make any sense to me. It's just like, bro, you just had to do that shit. You just could not leave that fucking scene alone. You couldn't leave that movie alone. It just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there who likes it, but I genuinely didn't. I thought that was easily the worst thing they could have done to that movie. But that's all I got to say about The Last Jedi. Like I said, The Last Jedi. God damn it. The Return of the Jedi. Or Return of the Jedi. Not The Return of the Jedi, but just Return of the Jedi. I gave it the Fast and the Furious treatment, didn't I? The Return of the Jedi. But yeah. I don't know, man. This movie it wasn't bad, but it wasn't what I wanted, and it wasn't what I was expecting. It was very anticlimactic. That's the best way I can put it. Very anticlimactic. But still a solid movie though. Still a solid movie. It's not bad, but like I said, the first two acts you can skip. You can literally just go to the third act and you'll be good. The only scene that honestly you really would need to see is them getting Han, Yoda dying, Luke telling Leia that she's his sister and that Darth Vader's their father, and then the whole third act, which I think when that happens, it is during the third act, as a matter of fact. So, or right before the third act starts, or the beginning of the third act when he tells her that, and that's pretty much it. So, once again, not a bad film. It's a very anticlimactic film.